Hello, hello, good afternoon. Grandmother clock is still chiming. Hi, I'm Casey Durango of Go Keto with Casey, where I like to talk about how I've lost 97.4 pounds since starting the ketogenic protocol, how you may be able to lose weight, improve your health, and regain control of your life like I did. So, thank you for being here, allowing me to be part of your Saturday. Um, Today's topic, as the thumbnail suggests, is about envy. It's not a good Envy is not a good look on anybody, but it it's a kind of part of the human condition, right? And we venture into something, and maybe we're taking a step out of our comfort zone, and then almost immediately we start comparing ourselves to other people who are in that zone. And sometimes, particularly if we're of this mind frame already, if this is kind of the way we have talked about ourselves and to ourselves for years, we start feeling like we do not compare well. We fall short. So let's talk about that. First of all, for those of you who do not know, the ketogenic protocol is one whereby you reduce your carbohydrate intake to a level where your liver quits pumping out um, glucose at fire hose levels. And when the tap is cut off from glucose, our bodies happily switch from burning glucose, which is sugar, to burning ketones, which are fat, for fuel. It works beautifully. How do you do that? For pretty much everybody, what will work is keep your carbohydrate intake to 20 grams or fewer a day, total carbs, not net carbs. Net carbs just means eating more carbs. If it's not on page 4, link below, don't eat it, but you don't even need a food list. Fatty sources of protein, some non-starchy vegetables, and some full fat dairy in limited quantities. Don't eat if you're not hungry. Stop eating when you're satiated, not stop when you're stuffed. The last two parts are the hardest. So there you go. So say you start doing this. And of course, everything now is all keto all the time, everywhere. You can't get away from it. Um, you know, it's everywhere. It's become commercialized. And that's really too bad because there's no such thing as a keto food product. Foods are not ketogenic, as my friend Amy Berger says. Our bodies are ketogenic. And almost nothing that is shelf stable, like that means not refrigerated or frozen, that it's on a shelf in a package, even if it has in giant block letters keto, it's not. Because it's just nearly impossible to have a shelf stable item that is not made with fillers and stabilizers. So, anywho, so you start this and it's everywhere, and then you start seeing success stories on covers of magazines, and somebody lost 64 pounds in 4 months, and they went, they weigh less than they did in high school, and they're happy and their life is perfect. And then we can ask ourselves, that's not why isn't that happening for me? What am I doing wrong? So we start on this spiral downward. Comparing ourselves with others, not a good idea for anything in life, unless it motivates you. If you compare yourself and you're a competitive person and it pushes you further, great. If it pushes you to do even better in a healthy way, great. And that just doesn't mean the ketogenic protocol. That means, exercise or work ethic or, you know, whatever the good things in life might be. But if we're comparing ourselves to other people and it demotivates us, if it makes us feel poorly about ourselves, even more poorly about ourselves, then don't do it. We all have challenges. I have challenges. And I'm pretty much got this down. It's a lot easier. Well, I'm going to tell you. Let me back up. From the time I started this for reals, January 8th, 2014, I had given up on losing weight. I can't show them here, but if you go to my blog, link below, but it's just caseydurango.com, you'll see some photographs from my previous life. They're not my heaviest weight. Some of them were taken during the summer of the triathlons when I was really decided I'll do the move more, eat less. And that I lost over the course of 6 months, I lost 11 pounds and I was hungry and sore all the time. So I'd given up on losing weight. I'd been overweight, obese, morbidly obese for 30 years of my life. I just didn't want to take insulin for type 2 diabetes. So that was my line in the sand. So I Googled how to not take insulin for type 2 diabetes. I came across the white coat video of Dr. Eric Westman of Duke University, who's now a pal of mine, I'm happy to say. And it was so simple and straightforward. And I knew that low carb worked for me. I knew it since 1977. And I knew it again in the early 2000s. But I had challenges. I didn't, it's not that life came at me. I made poor decisions. I decided to make illogical food choices based on excuses I was making to myself. So I know what that is. I know what that is. But this time I just didn't want to take insulin for type 2 diabetes. And I knew that was in front of me soon. So I didn't really have challenges because my mind was on this. And I will point this out. I talk with a lot of people. I hear from a lot of people. The people with whom I have worked and have spoken who have been the most successful just didn't play. They didn't play around with the protocol. They did not listen to the 57,000 other voices out there saying, oh, carb cycling to shock your system, or, one bagel won't hurt. I'm that one bagel won't hurt person because I ate a bagel because I was upset, and that's a whole long story. This was in the early 2000s, and I had lost about 25 pounds, and I decided to eat a bagel because life came at me. Well, life was still coming at me, and I put on 13 pounds immediately. But these people just stuck to the protocol. No keto products, no fake baked goods, none of the food, none of the imitation versions of the foods that got us fat in the first place. So that was me. So my challenges were not about that because I was ready. It was the old saying, when the student is ready, the teacher presents itself. That was the case with me. And in this case, the teacher being a metaphor for the protocol. But if we compare ourselves, if I compared myself, if I watched there weren't a lot of YouTube videos with this lifestyle on it. And I don't mean lifestyle, like it's not a diet, it's a lifestyle. It is a diet. A diet is a noun. I am on the ketogenic diet, just like some people are on the kosher diet. But it's not a pejorative. But lifestyle channels of any sort. If I compared myself with some of the people who were former professional athletes, women, and who wore cycling shorts and sports bras to show off their six-pack, if I compared myself to that person, I would have thrown in the towel. I would have felt terrible about myself, but I wasn't going to do that. I wasn't trying to get six packs. I didn't want to take insulin for type 2 diabetes. Compare yourself to me. You'll feel much better about yourself. One woman asked me, how long did it take you to lose the 97.4 pounds? This was in a message. I said, 3 years. She said, well, that wasn't very fast. I asked, how much weight have you lost in 3 years? I was a normal loser. I'm the every person. I'm 5'1", and I'm actually 115 and a half pounds off of my heaviest weight. But since January 8th, 2014, 97.4 pounds. So think about 97 pounds on this frame. I had a lot to lose. First year, I lost 47 pounds. That's on average less than a pound a week. It was 2 more years to lose the next 50 pounds. I was thrilled. I didn't care. I wasn't comparing myself. You know what my biggest challenge was? Making a decision whether to stay in my former lucrative career or do what I really felt passionate about and talking to people about get your life back, feel better, come off of medications, avoid medications, Realize that you have something to a value to add to the world, even if you're overweight, and you can change that. That was my biggest challenge. I really struggled with it. But with the support of my lovely mate, I did it, and I'm really happy. But don't compare. We should not compare ourselves to anyone over anything. Think about if we strived for the lives of the people we see on Instagram, their Instagram lives. Happy, smiley, shining people. And then you find out that happy, shining, smiling life is a hot mess. They have, a rotten relationship or can't manage to pay their bills, or maybe they're just not very nice people. We shouldn't compare ourselves to what someone else's, what car they drive, how stellar their children do in school, what kind of relationship they supposedly have. Because I watch enough Dateline to realize that some of the people that look on the surface as the happiest and best well-adjusted are just the scummiest, most murderous people around. It's frightening. We should not compare ourselves to anyone other than ourselves, unless it motivates you in a good way, not if it depresses you. Some of the magazine covers showing the unbelievable weight loss and transformations are apocryphal. There was the famous one about the Kimkins diet, and Kimkins, whatever her name was supposed to be, Kim somebody. She was on the diet at the front of the thing, and she lost whatever 250 pounds, and she was the gorgeous thing, and she was selling her diet to people. This was several years ago, many years ago. Selling her diet to people. Turns out that image was scraped from a Russian mail-order bride site, and she was still a 325-pound woman. So don't believe everything you see. Don't compare. And let's not be hating on the people who are at goal, close to goal, only have ever needed to lose 17 pounds. We all have our challenges. On some people, 17 extra pounds is a burden, feels uncomfortable. Those of us who've been thinking about their weight since age 11, and those of us who have been overweight since our, mid-20s, I was used to it. I was used to being overweight. For some people, they put on weight kind of rapidly and they're not used to it. It's a shock to their system. But anywho, follow the protocol. I suggest not trying to chase down shortcuts. If a food product has the word keto on the label, it's not keto, that is. It's not keto friendly. Always look. Now, I know this is more difficult in at least the EU. I don't know about Australia, but they only put net carbs on the nutrition label. In the United States, they can put anything they want for net carbs on the front, but the nutrition label is supposed to be accurate for total carbs. So you say, 4 net carbs per serving. Flip it over, 18 total carbs. Plus, there might be 4 servings in the package, so there's a whole bunch of carbs. As the old saying, you do you. Don't get distracted by what other people say is happening to them or what is happening to other people. I'm thrilled, and I consider myself successful. I've frankly been successful in almost anything I tried except weight loss until now. So now I consider myself pretty successful as a person. But if you want to compare to me. 3 years to lose 97.4 pounds. There are people that literally have lost. Well, I don't know if Gray is here. And Gray, I got your email. Thank you. I'll respond. Gray's custom trim has lost 255 pounds. I have a woman with whom I speak every month, 217 pounds. Just lay off the carbs. Okay. Speaking of that, I'm going to turn to comments here in just a moment. Shameless Commerce Division of Go Keto with Casey, trying to earn my keep. There are things you can see below the video or to the side, depending on what platform you're on. That will take you to my Teespring shop where there are some items, including my water bottle, Go Keto with Casey, steel water bottle, various mugs. Lay off the carbs, lay off the excuses, and my silly face on the back. And t-shirts. Oh, I just designed a zippered unisex hoodie. It says Go Keto with Casey. I've ordered mine. It hasn't come yet, but I'll show it to you when it arrives. I buy all of these products myself. Spiral, record, notebook. No, I purposely did not put dates on it because you can start this in the middle of the week, which is what I did. I didn't wait for the first of the month or after the holiday or I started on a Wednesday afternoon. And you can get this at my blog. You can get the perfect bound version at Amazon. It's less expensive and you get it faster because Amazon, magnet, are you here out of hunger or out of habit? That's on my blog. And even a pop socket, which I really love. I kind of use it like a little stand. You can do this. It says, food is not the boss of me. Okay, enough about that. I want to say thank you to patrons who are here. I have a private patron support group, Patreon, and link to that, I believe, is below as well. Depending on your pledge level, I do 20 video snippets a month. I just did recorded number 998. Patrons get to suggest the topics on a spreadsheet that I make available. There's a patron-only Facebook group, hidden and private. A handful of patron-only live streams on Crowdcast. Handful of patron-only video group sessions on Zoom and one-on-ones with me. Commercial over. Let me turn to wrap up. Don't compare. Don't compare yourself to anyone else at all, unless it motivates you. Oh, goodness. Jack just messed with Luna. Sorry about that. Let me turn to this. Hello, I'm just going to jump right on where I see people. Gail Rout has done something. No more meds is a big deal, and I love it. Have gotten off all meds that I've been on for years. Even if I never lose more weight, that alone is worth it. That is fantastic, Gail. And let me tell you something. After I had lost about probably 40, 45 pounds, I knew this was really different. This was different. And I was never hungry. And I was eating delicious, nutritious food. I would come down, and weight was something you just didn't talk about it in our house. I mean, people could talk about each other's weight, but not mine. And diets, no, not a topic. Third rail. I would come down, I'd tell my husband, oh my gosh, I didn't lose any weight from yesterday. But that's okay. And I would say it many times, but I don't care if I don't lose another ounce. I feel so much better. And I did. My joint pain resolved. My mood regulated. My memory came back. It was like a brain fog lifted. And many, many other things. Is Amy Berger in the house? To It Nutrition, keto without the crazy. I'm here, just quiet. So, Amy, you need to trademark that, keto without the crazy. Amy's my friend. Amy in the house, says Christina Polischik. Ange writes, hi, Amy. Love your channel and books. Ketogenic lifestyle. Congratulations. Cat Cookie, hello. So, again, commerce. If you see people with their name is in green, they're members of the Go Keto with Casey YouTube club. Sounds silly to say that. But I do, I just published a behind the scenes video, really short, showing the chickens. I had let them out into the ivy in our backyard. It was just the sun coming through. And I do some members only videos. Frankly, the best value is Patreon, but some people are not about that. Joanna Barraza, listening, about to drive. Great info as always, Casey. Joanna owns a Mexican restaurant in Louisiana. She's doing this protocol. So if the owner of a Mexican restaurant can do this, you can do this. Lay off the carbs and lay off the excuses, because we do. Helena! Helena, my friend. Helena, glad to have finally been able to make a live stream. It has been a while, friend. How are you doing? Helena is one of the strongest people I've ever met, and I have the privilege of meeting her. The scale, and by the way, honest to goodness, I'm working on having a Go Keto with Casey roadshow here where I live in Town, and I'm really thinking about it. Won't be a conference like thing, but I'm hoping Ms. Berger will attend, and I'm hoping Dr. Westman will attend, and Jackie Eberstein will attend. But if they don't, we'll just have a big old party ourselves. Anyway, Wednesday wine day was fun, writes Cat Cookie. I'm from Arkansas, so I think there were okay. Joanna Barraza, where in Louisiana? Baton Rouge, asks Dave S. asks where? Baton Rouge, Red Stick. Yvonne Gilman, I think keto has saved my life, really. And do you know what? I've heard too many stories that, it kind of saved mine. Honest and true. I was at a point, I was so low about myself. I was so uncomfortable. I was so tired of feeling the way I felt. I was so depressed that I really thought maybe it'd be better if I just don't wake up. It was bad. And now I can't wait to see what happens next. Helena writes, doing much better. Returned to work 2 weeks ago after 6 months. Be careful. You need to wear combat gear, Helena. Judy writes, yes, I agree. Wednesday wine day was really fun. For those of you who don't know, Wednesday wine day, Amy and I have been doing it way before COVID. Essentially a virtual happy hour. It's the third Wednesday of every month. And you can, if you follow me on Crowdcast, you see it, but it's also on my blog, on my schedule. Oh. Casey's Keto Connections, the next installment with Zoe Harcum. Oh, I'm so excited. Zoe is fantastic. She's smart as she can be. That will be on a Saturday, November 6th at 10 a.m. Eastern. It's usually on a weeknight around 7, but Zoe's in Wales. So we're going to do that. Oh, I'm really excited. It's not a presentation. It's a Q&A period. If you want to know, how do I make sense of all of the research that comes out of the headlines that one day says this and the next day says this? What about those pharmaceutical claims? Not to be missed. And I'm going to do another one with Jackie Eberstein. She just emailed me this morning to confirm we were still going to do it. I'll let you know when that's going to be. Okay. Does anyone have any questions for me? You may ask me anything at all. Do you have a story to share about maybe when you felt envious or a little defeated in comparison to other people, or how you overcame that and realized whatever they're doing is great. I'm happy for them. Here's what I'm doing. Here's the row I have to hoe. And I'm going to hoe it. By gum. Donna Brown writes, hey, Casey, what's the name of your friend's restaurant in Baton Rouge? Joanna, do you want to share that? Rex Evans writes, you are a great inspiration to me. Thank you. Well, thank you very much, Rex. I appreciate that. Joanna, if you can, if you can't, let me know, message me, and next time I will go ahead and give you a shout out. The 2022 calendars have been ordered. I'm excited because 100% I designed these myself. I didn't use some pre-made something, and they look like calendars. It's not like I reinvented calendars, but they have there's like the calendar, and then there are little photographs at the bottom of each page of everything with just behind the scenes photograph pictures of Jack, picture of Dory, the ridiculous chicken. What else? Cuckoo, keto cuckoo. And writes, "Hey Casey, did you clean out the house when you started? I searched high and low last night of the kids' snacks, and they really don't have much left, but I was craving." Uh-oh. Ange, we've talked about this. Ange, a craving is not a life emergency. As a matter of fact, that's one of the calendar months. Craving is not a life emergency. Breathe. You'll be okay. It'll pass. Don't do like I do. Craving is like a stray cat. Luna showed up on our porch 18 years ago, and we fed her, and she simply never left our property. So we've been feeding her for 18 years. Now she kind of comes in and out because she's decrepit. Although she caught a chipmunk the other day. I thought it was past her. Christine Pontillo, excuse me, let me get my glasses. Well, I want to. Yeah, Pontillo. 27 months worth of keto lifestyles and still going strong, holding steady. And I'm old, LOL. Mary Manchester, hey Mary, so glad I found this group, so much fun, and you're a delight, Mary, I must say. She's in the Patreon group, and Mary has a story. This is the thing that we find out, is that we think our struggles are the worst. Not even close. Angela Bartolone, so happy I caught one of your lives. Let me screen back up. As of my weigh-in on Friday, I'm officially down 77 pounds since late March, finally back to single-digit underwear. Yay. By the way, people say, I never know when your lives are. This is not a commercial for YouTube. But if you do want to attend live, you need to subscribe. I don't like when people say, please subscribe. But that's the way you have to subscribe, hit the notifications bell icon, and then on your device, your phone or whatever, you have to allow notifications from YouTube. Darylyn writes, let comparison to my cousin and recent COVID isolation trip me up. Oops. So that is one where you don't want to compare yourself to anyone else. Christina Poitier writes, thanks, Dave. I'm thrilled. Amy writes, hi, Casey. Amy from Maine, Northwoods here. Just curious if you still participate in triathlons and such. That's funny. You should ask that. I'm not wearing it now, but some of you may know that I have this humongous Garmin 920 XT sports watch. It was waterproof. This was before Apple Watch came out. No, which is silly. But I thought after I'd lost about 40 pounds, I thought, wow, I did those triathlons. I hauled my ample bottom on a bicycle up the steepest hill outside of San Francisco. I should try it again. So I treated myself to this super duper sports watch, which triathletes wear. I still have the watch. I've put exactly 1.5 miles on my bicycle. And no, I haven't, but I should. I really enjoyed training for it. And doing the first one was a thrill. I mean, it really was a rush. The other ones I didn't enjoy as much. And I made a very good friend out of all that training. My British friend, Tracy, who informed me that my hair was not blonde, it's white. Darylyn writes, feel lucky to have gotten your notification. Oh, I'm looking. Thanks for the inspiration. Lay off the cheating. Lay off the carbs. Cara Z writes, Casey, your sayings are so funny. Cravings are like a stray cat. That's another one I can't forget. It is. If you feed a craving, it will come back. Thanks, guys. Only 45 pounds to go. So happy. Good job. Excellent, Christina Polischik. I'll do it for you, Casey. Remember the thumbs up. Oh, sorry. Thank you. Okay, thank you. Thanks, guys. I was thinking about this. Can you imagine being a person who your self-worth in life is determined by how many followers you have on Instagram or how many likes you get on a Facebook post or any of the social media. I will tell you, it means naught to me. I appreciate being able to the tools that I am able to connect with people, but I look for gratification in my self-worth elsewhere. Saad, it is only 34 more days until I sail away. Mary is going on a cruise and she's buying smaller clothes. Mary, do you want to share with the group about what happened over the past month with you? You don't have to if you don't want. Helena wrote, I find a small pickle or an olive kills my cravings for sweets. Thankfully, I don't get them often. I've heard this a lot. I've experienced it. I don't really crave sweets. I don't crave anything. But when I think, I'm not really hungry, but I keep thinking about food. We get jars of petite dill pickles. I wonder if my producer can let the cat out. Because she's crying at the door. I have like 3 of those. They're tart. And it's okay, I don't need anything else. Helena, I'm so glad to hear from you. Really, honest and true. Helena's been through it. You name it, Helena's been through it. And I'm not lying. And you wouldn't know it unless, you asked her about it. She does not live in that. She does not live in the things that have happened to her. Some of these things have happened to her. Some of the things that we are experiencing, we kind of step right in it ourselves. We kind of make it happen. Not Helena. I'm going to be trying the pickle things. So, it's almost like take the opposite. So if you're craving a sweet, go for the tart and the bitter. It's like, chip, fires off different things. Okay. Mary, are you going to show? Okay, measurements. This is Mary Manchester. Measurements. Bust down 1 inch. Hips down 1 inch. Waist down 3 inches in a month. So she doesn't, notice she's not saying whether or not the scale moved. Losing inches without losing ounces is a thing. Muhammad, can I eat salad with my meat? I was pre-diabetic, reversed it, but can I eat onions and tomatoes? Absolutely. Now, salads. Now, vegetables are limited. Keep in mind, here's a way to think about it. The size of your fist, approximately. That's about the amount, the size, not how much you can hold in a fist, the size of your fist of non-starchy vegetables, maximum a day, and about the size of 2 fists of leafy greens, maximum a day. That'll get you to about 10, 12 carbs. This is pre-cooked for the vegetables, by the way. But yes, absolutely. And then you find, what I have found, Muhammad, I like vegetables. I always have liked them. I just don't eat very many of them. Because I don't eat that much food in general. I need less fuel. I am smaller. I am older. I am part of that population that should not require much fuel. I'm not getting ready to host a human every month. I am not getting taller. I'm not laying on, blood vessels. I am not an athlete. I'm not in my 20s. So if I'm going to eat less fuel, it's going to be fatty sources of protein. It's going to be poultry with the skin. It's going to be eggs with the yolks. It's going to be liver, which is the most nutritious food you can eat. Animal liver is very nutritious. And Patricia D writes, Mary Manchester, you're an inspiration. She absolutely is. To fix MJ, yay, cut live, yay. Dave, as my scale is collecting dust. Never weigh myself. Excellent. If it gives you, scale is a tool. It's a device. It gives you data. If the data informs your decision-making process, great. If that data messes with your mind, don't weigh. There are many, many other things more important. I weigh every day. I do. I have done since December 18th, 2000. And those were some rough years before keto. And I log it in the world's largest spreadsheet. Patricia, congrats, Mary Manchester. Okay, thank you, David. My scale. Ange, I was eating one of The bag salads, and I later realized a cup was 18 carbs. Yeah, because some of the bag salads, they just add stuff, or they have cranberries in it, or they're the croutons, or the dressing is. You don't, and vegetables are not unlimited and they are not essential. Host to human, right? Yeah. My daughter is pregnant, and this grandma is so excited. By the way, if I had it to do over again, I'm very happy with my life, and my children are wonderful and all healthy. Our household would have been ketogenic. We would have followed the protocol. I would have followed it through pregnancy. I would have raised my children that way. Babies are born in a state of ketosis. How you like me now? Okay, so I reminded you about Zoe Harcum. Jackie Eversand will be coming up. The wonderful Amy Berger. Um, just she's fantastic. She's here. Listen to anything she says or writes. She has a Patreon as well. You can follow her on Patreon. We follow each other, by the way. We're each other's patrons. Okay, I think that's all I know. Thank you for allowing me to be part of your Saturday. And I hope you found this helpful. And here's a secret. I find it helpful talking to you. It helps me. It helps me to talk to the patrons every morning for those snippets. Here in the kitchen before sunrise. Pillow hair, no makeup, pre-coffee. I look forward to it every single day. Okay. Thanks, guys. Be sweet. Just don't eat sweets.